All right, well, let's go ahead and transition to our last segment of tonight, and that is our softball recap, kind of what they've been doing. Man, just like kind of like baseball, but it feels like just honestly, right? On a much larger of a tear. It feels like. I know we've only lost one game and tied one game in baseball, but after today's win of, I think it was 5-2, I think, over Elon. They're now 15-0. They have surpassed the all-time best start to a season now, which was 10, eventually 10 wins, and now they're all the way at all the way at 15-0. They opened ACC play against Boston College this weekend. Friday at 6, Saturday at 1, Sunday at 12. Look, I'm telling you, this team is special. When I say special, I'm not even talking about from a standpoint of winning games. Just a special group. I've now had the opportunity to be around them a little bit, and we're going to share a little bit about that towards the end. But it's gonna be a fun season for them. They're expected to be better than they were last year, which is also saying a lot because they were pretty darn good last year as well. And you can just see that Coach Smith continues to have this program trending in the right direction. Andrew, get in here. Tell me a little bit about the Tar Heel Invitational, where Carolina went 5-0 in.
Yeah, starting Thursday, Tar Heel Invitational, they played a handful of teams. They outscored their opponents 43-6 over those 5 games. They had a doubleheader on the 19th against NC Central. Lilley Parrish throws a no-hitter, right? So 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch. So she was really 1 walk and 1 HBP away from a perfect game. Absolutely incredible. And then the very next day, so, I mean, you have a no-hitter on one day, and it's like, how do you top that? Can you top that? And then the next day against App State, Emily LeGette hits a 2-run homer to walk off App State. They win 5-3. She had 4 of the 5 RBIs in that game. So that's a pretty good 2 days work. You go from a no-hitter one day and a walk-off homer the next. That's impressive.
I mean, look, talking about Emily LeGette here. I mean, I don't know which ones these are because I pulled them and it's hard to really tell. But I mean, she is on a tear this week. And if you just also pay attention to her swing, I mean, here's another home run she has. She has also a beautiful home run. That's the one I think. No, maybe. I'm not sure if that was the walk-off. I'll be able to tell. Yeah, I think that one was the walk-off potentially. Also, there's a lot of videos going around too about their celebration if they play this video all the way to the end. They've been doing this now for a few seasons, but
it's cool.
So, but
that one wasn't one of the better ones. They've had better ones before.
Actually, yeah. I can't remember. I don't know if it was that one or not, but the first one she ever did it, she jumped in and only went like 2 feet into it. And so she didn't even get any air because she had never done it with Carolina before. But, here's another one. I mean, just shredding the ball.
Her swing is so compact but so quick to the zone. I mean, it's fantastic.
It's really just overall just a beautiful swing. I mean, listen to this right here. This week, I put it in here right. Yep, Emily LeGette ranks first in the country in RBIs with 29, has hit 8 home runs this season, second most in the country. And this week, Emily LeGette, I think it was as of yesterday, was named ACC Player of the Week, Louisville Slugger National Player of the Week, Sports Illustrated Player of the Week. I thought there was one more, but I mean, even in that self, those 3, that's massive. 13 different players on Carolina softball roster this year has hit a home run. That was before tonight. I haven't looked at it yet for tonight. After tonight's game, I haven't, but I mean, they're ranked in the top 25 now, sneaking right with the Softball America poll, which I believe is by on 3. D1 softball is still, not putting them in, but they are receiving votes. So, I mean, they're
like
on
if
a
they
tear.
win, I know Boston College isn't great, but if they win this weekend series, especially if they sweep, I don't know how you don't have them. How D1 softball does not have them in. I mean, you said 15-0. They sweep BC. They go 18-0. I mean, that's incredible.
I mean, with most teams starting conference play this week, I would feel like in softball, right? If they sweep Boston College, there's going to be a top 25 team somewhere that loses, right? Somewhere it's just bound to happen in softball and baseball, right? Or on the diamond, I guess we could say. Like, so I have to keep referring back to both. But if they switch, then I feel like they got to put them in. But I really feel like D1 softball is not putting them in because of the strength of schedule, and it is up there, right? And that's not something that they would probably shy away from telling them, right? They probably themselves would have wanted maybe a little bit stronger SOS, right, to prepare them better. But man, this team's got some special players. I also wanted to share this. This is going to be coming out later this week. I'm currently working on it, but I had a sit down with Emily Parrish, who had
Lilley,
the note. Lilley. Sorry,
You had Emily LeGette and Lilley Parrish mixed
we were
up.
just talking about Emily LeGette. It was actually pretty funny in this one. We were talking, and Lilley didn't know one of the player, her teammates' last name, completely like slipped her mind. She felt really bad about it. It was just a funny moment. So she can't hold that name slip over me there when she didn't know her own player's last name. Just throwing some friendly jabs at her. But we had an awesome time together. We sat down for an hour. We went from how she got into softball, her journey. She was injured all off season, then coming into this season. I mean, she had surgery in November, right? And then made her way all the way back now, late February, and throws a no-hitter. Just remarkable story right there in itself. The journey to get back. We talked a little bit about this team and their the culture, the types of players they are. We also talked about who has the best aux cord, songs, who's the funny one, the swag. It's a pretty cool time we had together. And then we talked about, what we can expect from this team going forward. And it's a pretty cool special moment too. We talked a little bit about, if there's other, other young women out there that strive one day to be playing in college softball, what's a message you have for them? So it was just a really good time. And on top of that, I'm really excited to share, or Andrew and I are really excited to share, starting next week, we are partnering with Carolina softball for the rest of this season. And every other week, and the first one starting next week, we will be doing a coaches show with Coach Smith. And that will be a 30-minute coaches show just to continue to give them the spotlight that they deserve, this program that they deserve, like the other ones that don't get a coaches show. It's kind of an idea that we had, and we pitched it to them. And so every other week, we will be doing a coaches show with Coach. And I will be asking her questions when some weekends, because it's inevitable, right? It will happen throughout a season. You kind of hope that it does sometimes, that a loss creeps in and right, so it can teach you things and you can kind of get that pressure off your backs. And so we will talk about those things, what went wrong, how's the locker room feeling, what's some changes we can expect. If a player gets injured, what's their, what's the story behind that. But we're also going to go in a little bit deeper into, she's an alum of this program. Like, a lot of people that don't follow, Carolina softball don't even know that she played softball at Carolina. I mean, just cool stories, like her dad sits on the first row for every home game. He doesn't miss a game. Her husband's also the third base coach and one of the best hitting coaches in all of college softball. So just some really cool stories and dynamics there. They have one of the top transfer portal classes in all of college softball, right? So they went on a lot of top teams and plucked their best players. So I wouldn't say pluck. I mean, it had to enter the portal.
Hey, it's what you got to do
right?
now. That's how you got to play the game.
Yeah. So I'm just really excited about that. If anybody from softball is listening, I know that some of them listen, look, we're honored that you guys would entrust us with that. And we're really excited to bring that to fans as well. And then also, so that's every other week starting next week. More than likely that will be dropping at night, because I'm going to do a pre-recorded show with her in the mornings, and then I'll put a intro and a trailer on it. I mean, you don't edit a show like that, right? And then I'll just schedule it to go live to go live at some time in the night. We'll let y'all all know, but really looking forward to that. And then on the other weeks, we're going to do we're going to have a player on. So I'm really excited about that, to continue to give them a spotlight and highlight some of these top athletes, right? We talked about it, Andrew. Like, I think we had talked about this. Like, if Lilley Parrish, which I actually talked about it in the interview, if Lilley Parrish would have been on the baseball team and been a guy, right, and threw a no-hitter and also threw 2 complete games in a row, that would have been all over D1 baseball. That would have been all over Sports Illustrated. Probably would have been on ESPN. I mean, a no-hitter plus you throw 2 complete games in a row. I mean, you've hardly ever hear about that, and she's already done that this season.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the tear that Emily LeGette on right now has, like, it's been wild.
Yeah, I mean, if that's somebody from the SEC, the ACC baseball, they're getting articles written about them. They're being talked about on every sports podcast, not just college baseball stuff. So yeah, you're right.
And I'll be honest, I've always been a big fan of Olympic sports, and softball's not an Olympic sport, but I've always been a big fan of women's sports as well. Like, I love watching women's college basketball. But I'll be honest, like, I always didn't watch women's college softball. But as I started to learn more and more, I started last year really paying attention to Carolina softball. And the more and more this year, as I've gotten closer with the program, I've kind of gotten some of the ins and outs of how things, go in the landscape, and reading articles. And a lot of those top 25, rankings, just like a lot of other rankings, they tend to lean a certain way as it relates to conference wise, right? Definitely, like when you talk about football and things like that, when that football, I think how many years now the SEC hasn't won a national championship. What is it, Andrew? Do you remember how many years? It's been a while, right? A couple of years.
Yeah.
So like thinking about that, right? They always say, like, oh, our strength of schedule, like, oh, and then they'll say, oh, it's because we beat
up on each other. That's my favorite. Like,
all year.
Give me a break.
So, but then the people use the line, right, when they say they don't have enough or strong enough SOS. They're like, well, you can only play who's on your schedule. Yeah. Well, okay, then.
I mean, come on now.
You can't use that when you use that way. But anyway, I'm learning also it's trending that way in softball as well with the top 25. A lot of those rankings tend to lean heavier to some two other conferences. So it's really cool to see them being highlighted in the top 25 this early in the season. We encourage you guys to come out. Look, Friday at 6, Saturday at 1, Sunday at 12. I know a lot of y'all that listen to this show are Carolina baseball fans, but give them a shot. Go out there for at least one game a week or 2 or 3 a month or something. It's a lot of fun. It's free. If you have kids, bring them. They do these chants throughout the game, and it's a lot of fun. I can't remember if it was a mom or a grandma or one of those of Sanaya's, I believe it was. And the song was like sing the song when the song stops playing, sing the rest of it.
Yeah.
And it was the song, just a small town boy living in a lonely world, right? And so good, right? And I don't think she knew it. And so they had told her that what it was. So she pulled up the lyrics on her phone. I mean, that's the only way she would have had it pulled up.
You don't want to embarrass yourself not knowing the song.
And so when she started, and then like the lady, you could tell like it was over. She was supposed to stop singing. Like it was like time to like transition back to the game. She just didn't give the mic back and like just kept singing by herself. And then everybody in the crowd joined in and started singing. It was a cool moment.
That's awesome.
I was like, this is pretty interesting. This is pretty cool.
Thank you for listening to Heels on the Diamond, presented by Heels on Franklin. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like it, drop a comment, and share it with another Carolina fan. That support goes a long way as we continue to grow. You can find all episodes of Heels on the Diamond on the Heels on Franklin YouTube channel and on Spotify. So whether you like watching or listening, we've got you covered. If you're looking for Carolina football coverage, be sure to check out the Tar Pit podcast, which you can also find on the Heels on Franklin YouTube channel and on Spotify. You can also find us on X, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search Heels on Franklin and you're in. Until next time, go Heels.